Cordelia Kate, and today I'm going to make a case that might annoy some people because you don't need a content strategy. You do not need a content calendar. For some people, that might be a relief. And you don't need to batch 47 reels on a Sunday afternoon. You just need one live show, 1 hour a week, and everything else flows from that. And one live show, if you run one every week, that can become your YouTube video. It can become a podcast. It can become a blog post. It can become social clips. It can become emails to your email list. Absolutely everything that you need can come from that one live show that you do. And today, I'm going to be walking you through my entire live show strategy. It is major. It's a big old beast, but it's really simple. And if you want to DIY it, this episode is going to be all you need to launch, build, run your own live show, which will give you all the content you need. But not only that, it's going to bring you in a constant stream of sales as well. And look, in a world where your audience's feed is wall to wall with AI generated slop, a live show is proof that you're real, because the truth is you can't fake live very easily. You just can't. I'm real. I'm not a fake AI person. And honestly, the human element of your content is the thing that is most important. Moving forwards, we are at the beginnings of this AI revolution. And I'm telling you, we are just absolutely overwhelmed by perfect, polished content. I've been saying this for years. We need real human you. We need your bloopers. We need your ums. We don't need you to be a perfect polished presenter. That's what we need to really connect with your audience. That is the perfect you to present. Also, here's what I see every week in my community and on calls with business owners is the constant treadmill of posting something on Monday and then like having the relief that, oh, today's content is done. And then putting Tuesday out of your mind. Tuesday comes around and it's like, oh, I need to post something again, or trying to get on top of a content calendar, getting really organized, going with the content calendar for a couple of weeks and then needing to do it again and just not getting round to it because it takes flipping ages, or realizing that 3 weeks have gone past and you haven't posted anything on social media. You know, it's really hard to keep up with the content treadmill. And there's so many elements to it. You know, if you're on YouTube, there's YouTube videos. If you have a podcast, there's podcast episodes. If you have an email list, there's email broadcasts. Then you've got your Instagram account, your Facebook account, your LinkedIn account. You've got blogs, newsletters, broadcasts. Is endless. The content treadmill is trying to eat your soul and it's working. And so this live show strategy, I'm going to show you how to just do one thing, one 30-minute session every single week. And from that, we're going to get absolutely everything you need. So you don't need to be on this content treadmill anymore. You can get that content calendar and let's rip it up and chuck it in the bucket. It's not needed anymore. And that is what is great about that. But not only that, you're going to be interacting with your people live. You're going to be showing the real human side of you. And what that's going to do is connect. It's going to build you a warm and mighty audience fast. And hell, it is going to make your conversions really nice, because warm people convert better than cold people. And to make someone warm, you just need to let them grow to know you, to like you, and to trust you. So this is about being real. It's about being you. It's about being comfortable with yourself. And it's about future-proofing your business by creating a content creation strategy that isn't only smart, leverageable, going to increase your conversion rate, but it's also human and future-proof in terms of it's not just replaceable by some kind of AI, because nobody can really be you or do you like you can, right? So we're going to take that one irreplaceable asset, you, and we're going to leverage it. And then you're going to be able to apply it to your business. And that is what we're going to do. I like to say there's 3 ways to do a show. There's the safe way, the scary way, and the hairy, scary, Mary way. And the safe way is the pre-record. Why is it safe? Because you can edit everything. If you say something weird, you can edit it out. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, except for the fact that you're going to cut out a load of leverage. So live is great because you can check in with your people. You can build those connections. They feel like they're here with you. And that's great, because otherwise you're just putting content out and you're not really connecting with anyone through it in the same way. You've also got the leverage of having that human nuance. It's okay to say the wrong word. It's okay to forget what you're saying, or, just laugh at yourself. Tell people, oh God, I'm a bit nervous today. Makes you human. That makes you relatable. And the relatability lets people go, oh, she's just like me. We're quite similar. Nobody relates to the king, right? Because he just lives a completely different lifestyle. So why are we all trying to pretend that we got our shit together when really and truly we're just as human as everybody else? And so if you can show that, then you're going to be more relatable. But here's another reason why live is so flipping cool. It's the accountability. The accountability is real. If you say you're going to batch create a load of videos on a Saturday, then that Saturday comes around and it's just not a video day. Your period started, your cat puked on the carpet, one of your kids is ill, I don't know, life happened. And you just feel like, God, I am not in the mood to go record 6 videos right now. I would rather have a hole in my head. Then it could be quite easy for you to not do it. And that's fair enough. But if you've promoted that you were going to do those videos live and you were going to be there at 11 a.m. and you were going to deliver this topic and you feel a little bit like you don't want to, the accountability is going to stop you from stopping. Now, look, I will cancel this show if one of my kids is ill. If I need to cancel this show, I will just send a message out and cancel. But if I do that all the time, I'm going to start to show that I am an unreliable person, which is not a good image. And so that gives me a sense of accountability. No, I must show up. And what that's doing is it means I'm creating a new video every single week from this live. And that is really awesome because it's getting me so many content pieces. And when something is happening at a certain time, people will want to come and watch it. I guarantee. And if this was just a pre-recorded video that I had just published, maybe you'd be watching it, but you'd also have the option to go, oh, I'll watch that later. And so with the live element, it makes people want to be part of that thing that you're doing and they want to be here live with you. And if you're watching on the replay, go you. I love that you're here on the replay. I am not saying that you're mental for doing that. It's just that there is something about the live that creates the urgency that gets a chunk of people watching whilst you're live. And then you get to enhance the process and get more views later by turning it into different pieces of content and publishing it all over the place, right? And so that urgency is really nice for getting some visibility, making a bit of a buzz and connecting with your people. I'm going to just open up a Canva whiteboard that I have prepared in advance. Your own live show. There are 4 stages that we need to map out before you hit live. The first one is coming up with the concept and planning the show itself. Coming up with the concept and planning the show itself. The next thing is promoting the episode. This is one of the good things about going live is you get to promote the episode. Oh my God, we've got an open loop. What's the hairy, scary Mary way? The hairy, scary Mary way is that you do live webinars instead of just live streams. So you actually promote part of it. You offer people to come on Zoom with you to watch the episode rather than just watch from social media. You would choose that way depending on what your priorities are and what you wanted to focus on, basically. And so, yeah, for the purpose of this one, we're going with the scary way, not the hairy, scary Mary way. The scary way is just doing a live stream because I think that is the right balance of leverage. Okay, so concept and planning. What's your show? Who's it for? What's the concept of your show? Promoting that you're going live at a certain time, going live, the actual act of going live, and then post-production. This is where it's going to get sexy. We're going to do so much with this recording. You are going to be a happy bunny. So starting with concept and planning then. First thing we need to know who's your ideal client, who's your ideal watcher. And we want to get specific with this. You might have a business that aims at lots of different people in different ways. Try and pick a lane. We need specificity. And the reason why we need specificity is so we can tap into emotion. If I have a product that is for parents and teachers, and I really want the show to be aimed at both of those, I need something specific that enables me to emotionally connect with them because they've got different problems. And so what we want to do is connect with the emotion. People make decisions because of emotions. They justify with logic later. And so really important that we know who we're speaking to, because if we're trying to speak to everybody, it means that we don't get specific enough and we stay too high level, and you can't tap into emotion when you're high level. And that's why people tell you to niche down. The riches are in the niches, as they say. And it's to do with marketing. And that doesn't mean that behind the scenes, when you're working with your clients or when you're doing other things, like you can't talk to other people or do other things. You're not restricting what you do. You're just creating a level of specificity on the front door so that for the window shoppers, the people going past, they can emotionally connect with you and what you're about. Once they come in, you can then show them other areas of what you do, right? Or you can have different content strategies over here that connect with other people in different ways. So for the show, we really want to get specific. It's going to be really helpful because it's going to enable you to have an anchor, and that anchor is going to enable you to connect with people on an emotional level because it's really clear. So who is this for? Who are your ideal listeners? And then the next thing is, what's the gap? So you can have a think about, what are people not talking about in the space? So I'll give you an example. My who are business owners, specifically with an online business. And even more specifically, they're like solopreneurs with a service-based online business. That's my ideal person for this show. And then the gap that runs through is, number one, tangible, practical strategies. And number two, human over AI. The reason being why I feel like this gives me an edge, that is like running through everything that I'm teaching, because I teach a lot about AI on this show and on this channel because I use AI a lot for everything. Like, it's there, it's available, it makes life easier. Why wouldn't we use it? But what people are teaching right now is how to use AI. What people aren't teaching right now is how to use AI to elevate your humanness rather than replace it. And there are so many people out there just whitewashing their brand and running it through the debranding machine, which is ChatGPT, because they're not using it in a way that actually takes that and elevates the humanness in their brand. So you want to think about what's in the gap and what's that kind of USP, if you like. Why is this going to be different to everything else? Because what you don't want to do is just create something that's the same. We want to figure out what your take on this topic is and why your take makes you stand out and makes you different to how other people teach it, or you've identified there's a gap, there's something missing. So many people are talking about something in a certain way, but they're missing X, Y, or Z, and you want to cover that. And then also, like, we want to bring passion into this. What could you talk about all day, every day for the next year? Like, really and truly, and you'd still have some steam left. Bringing that passion into things so that you know what you're going to be doing on your channel is going to be enjoyable for you. Like, that's really important. I'm saying channel a lot because we're going to use YouTube as the main place for this strategy. And the reason for that is the longevity of the content. YouTube is a place where this live will live the longest. Facebook, they're going to delete it in 30 days. LinkedIn, it's going to stop pushing it after 24 hours. YouTube will still be recommending this video months, years to come, potentially. And so the shelf life is longer. And that's why it's the main area of focus for this strategy, because of that reason. So when I refer to your show, your channel, that's why I'm talking about that. Those are important things for you to think about. And then really what we want to do is come up with a concept. And that concept, if you think of a podcast, is a bit like you imagine a podcast, there's a concept that every single podcast has. And then off that concept, it has episodes that are all related. They all go back to the main concept. They all relate back to it. So that just like a podcast, we're going to have a concept to this show. And that concept is going to be, this is for this type of person to help them solve this problem that they have with this type of solution that I help with. So I could do for instance, a channel that's all about how to launch a live show, and it could have loads of videos about going live and all this kind of stuff, various different ways in which you can do this. So that concept that you come up with then is essentially the anchor, the cornerstone for your live show. And then everything is going to bridge back to that. In terms of the episodes, they all need to make sense and go along with that concept. And so underneath that, we want to think about name. What's it called? What are you going to call it? That's the last thing. So many people go in wanting to name something before they've got the concept. Get the substance first, then give it style. You want to know who it's for, what it's about, what gap it's filling, what the USP is, what that positioning is. And then we go, okay, well, what do we call it? What's a name that's going to encapsulate that? And if you can't think of a name, because naming something is the most impossible task at times, it can really hold you back and it can feel really hard. But my recommendation is give it a Ron Seal name first. Clear is better than clever because people know what they're getting from it if it's clear. If it's clever, it kind of can leave you a little bit confused. And if you confuse people, you lose people. So we want to go with Ron Seal as a starting point, and you can always rebrand later and do a name change. And there is a real leverage point to be had. If you change the name of something down the road, it is a real excuse to make a load of noise and have a big party and get a load of fresh visibility on your show. So there is nothing wrong with a rebrand ever, unless you're doing it every week. And then we've got inconsistency, and that's a problem. That is, in terms of the concept, what you need to get down. Now, the other thing that we need to plan then, and the episodes are linked to the concept because they are for the same audience. The episodes are going to stem from the concept, and you want to get the first 3 down. Why 3? Because if you map too many in advance, before you've even launched the show, you're setting yourself up for loads of work. Reason being is that you might decide 3 episodes in that you actually want to change direction a little bit or do a bit of tweaking. But also 3 episodes is a good start for us to get ready for the podcast and get ready for the repurposing that I'm going to walk you through in a bit. So we're going to start with 3 episodes and getting those ready. And when I say, the episodes, it's just about coming up with title. If you can just come up with these things. So like the title for the episode and also your take / the rough sketch of what that episode is about. My recommendation would be when you're in this planning stage, you don't get AI to create that unless you have the brain bank that I've talked about on another episode. And the brain bank is where you're building an AI brain of all of your knowledge. So every single transcript of the marketing strategy show goes into my brain bank. And then I've got an AI agent that is basically understanding and learning like my perspective, my view on things. But if you're at the beginning and you haven't built a brain bank or whatever, the worst thing you could do, which was the output from ChatGPT, but what that's going to do is it's going to accidentally steamroll your humanness out of that bit. We want a high quality human input somewhere in a pipeline. But if we have that high quality human input at this point, it's going to be easy for us to get really high quality AI output down the road. So have a voice note of what you want to talk about on this episode. Or what, if your title is the top 5 ways to prepare for a live show, terrible title. If that was my title, I then want to go, okay, what do I believe about this? What's my thought process on this? What do I want to teach? What do I want people to know? And I'm just going to voice note into something that can transcribe. So I might press the voice button on ChatGPT so that I can transcribe my voice, or I might speak into Otter or something that can transcribe my voice. But then I'm going to copy my transcription and I'm going to put that in an Airtable or a spreadsheet or whatever, along with my working title. And I'm going to come back to it later to tighten it up and prepare it for becoming actual content. But that's going to give me a high quality human input, I then put into AI later, rather than an AI prepared topic. The next thing is that we're going to get AI to generate all the bits that you need. So we've got the episode. We know what we're going to do. We've set the date. It's one thing we haven't spoken about here. Let's set the date. Let's put that here. We're going to have episode and then we've got date. When's the first one going to be? So you can give yourself a bit of a runway. I would say set it for 2 weeks in the future. Doesn't need to be any more than that. You're only going to promote it 24 hours before it happens. You might do a tease like 3 days before you do promote the first one, but you're going to promote it 24 hours before it happens. Why? It's just a live stream. There's no point promoting it a week before. So just 24 hours before, we're like, hey, I'm going live tomorrow, 11 a.m. For the very first time that you do this, we can have a pre-promo tease. And the pre-promo tease is something like, you're going to put a post out that's like, I'm going to be doing something new soon. I've been working on something big. I can't tell you what it is yet because I'm not ready to announce it, but just know it's coming soon. Your audience love an announcement and something new and something fresh. And if you've got thousands of people in your audience, even better. Like this is going to just create a bit of a buzz. After that, when we get into what I call a promo routine, you're just going to be announcing the next episode like 24 hours before you go live. Doesn't need to be any more than that. So pre-promo tease and then leading into announce, show, and first episode. When we now getting into the promo routine. So let's say your show is Tuesday at 11 a.m. like this one. And I put the promo out Monday morning. Doesn't really matter what time. If it's scheduled and I've been super organized, once you systemize a process, you can hand it to someone else to do it for you. And that just makes life so much easier. But obviously you can't hand over chaos to someone. So having a system enables you to hand it over. So what's on is the day before. If I haven't got round to doing it, it'll just be Monday when I get round to doing it, but it's just the day before. And then we have the next day, we're going live in 15 minutes. This can go out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram as a post. It can go in stories. It can go out as a YouTube post. And if you've got an email list, you've got this amazing live show that you can tell people about, invite people to, send the replay of. And that's a really, really lovely way to keep your email list engaged. And it builds a strong relationship with them, because there's nothing more relationship building than live video, So that's really cool. And then we've got the live in 15 minutes post. That is going to be all the same places. I use Restream. Love Restream. Reason being is I can do cool things on Restream. You can also use StreamYard. You can just do live on Facebook, LinkedIn, or on YouTube, but that's just one place. Whereas if you use Restream, you can go live everywhere. And what's really nice about that is on promotion, when you create your promo post and then you put that out everywhere, we've got the problem of a call to action. And the problem with the call to action is that if you put a YouTube link on Facebook, they won't push the post as much. So you could create in Restream the live events. You schedule your Restream and it just goes and creates an event on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and a scheduled YouTube video. And what's nice about that is you can then direct people on Facebook to the Facebook event, which is then going to be linked to the live. So you're keeping it all in the platform, which means that it's likely to get more views than if you put a YouTube link, which is taking people off the platform. So going live from Restream to all these places, my top picks are YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. You can also do Instagram. If Instagram's the main platform for you, Instagram works. You have to go in before every single live and set it up on Instagram. Whereas with all the others, you can set this up a week in advance and forget it. Just set and forget. And then when you hit the go live button, it's all there and ready to go. And the way that I get prepared for the live itself is I've got my take and my rough sketch, and I've also got my promo materials that I've created to push out on socials. And then what I like to create for myself is speaker notes and a cold open. And I actually just get Claude to create these for me based on what my episode is going to be about, my rough sketch and all the rest of it. And then I'm like, Claude, can you make me some speaker notes? Here's an example of some speaker notes that you could create that just support you with going live. So you heard me say this at the beginning of this video. Hey, I'm Cordelia Kate, and today I'm going to make a case that might annoy some people. I read that out loud, and there's my kind of script. And I've got these notes then that just support me through that live that I can read. And so for my clients, what I do is I create this for them. And this cold open is written in a way that is going to hook people into watching the video, which is really important. That's why we script that first bit rather than start with, hey, welcome to the live stream. I'm Cordelia. It's great to have you here. Who's watching? Give me a hashtag replay. Like, boring. So we want to hook people in so that they know what they're going to get out of the video. And then the other thing I do, which is bloody an amazing tip, is I open up, I've got Notebook LM, and I put my speaker notes into Notebook LM. And what I do is I then generate and explain a video, which is just 5 minutes long, that walks me through everything that I'm about to talk about, which is really cool. It's just all I've put in here is pasted my speaker notes, and then it's generated explain a video for me. It can also generate slides. So I've got slides here generated, and then you've got tools in here that enable you to practice and prep for that upcoming talk that you've got. You've got visuals. Once you see your talk in visuals, it's just easier for you to remember certain points. And then also you can hear someone else talking about your topic. It's just nice to hear someone else talking about your topic so that you can then listen to that, and it might give you a new analogy or a new way of saying things that you wouldn't have thought of. And it also just enables you to sort of remember. And so I'm doing this every single week. I've got a new topic that I'm delivering every single week. And so I need an easier, quick, fast, dirty way for me to get prepped for that, because I haven't got all the hours in the day. Running a live show every week should make your life easier, not harder. Yeah, there are all these bits that you have to generate. You've got to create the promo materials, but it's about systemizing. I do all of this on Airtable, and I get, I've got prompts that then generate the things that I need. And so it just simplifies everything. Once you've got that system in place, it's just the only thing you need to do every week is show up with a new episode. So we go live. We prep for the live by practicing that cold open, by having a read of those speaker notes that you've generated for yourself. And then you've now got this amazing resource that you can use for so many different things. Here's what I'm doing. We've got edit the video, and then that video turns into a polished YouTube video. And that means I'm getting double the YouTube videos out of one video, because the title for the live stream is different to the title for the YouTube video. It's the same content, but it's wrapped up in a different package. Reason being, different audiences. This title here that I'm using on the live stream is for who are watching on the live stream. And so you're a warmer audience, and you're choosing to watch this because I've advertised it or you've stumbled across it. Whereas the YouTube video, it's more aimed at SEO and AIO. It's for people that are searching for answers to a problem. And so it's framed in a different way. And by having a different YouTube title to the live title means it doesn't matter what happens on the live. You could go live and end up talking about a completely different subject because you just ended up in a rabbit hole and it took you over there. It's still great content. So you just get the transcript of the video, and you then generate from that transcript a new title and a new description for YouTube video. Also, if your content and you want to weave this into your strategy, you could then put that out as a podcast. And then you've got your own podcast show that's taken from this live content. Video content is very relevant for podcast. And it's only going to become more relevant for podcasts. And it's another way in which your people can consume your content on the go. It's putting your content in a place where your audience have habits and routines so that you can fit into their way of consuming content in another format, essentially. My recommendation for this is that we wait until you've got 3 episodes, and then we launch a podcast with a launch strategy to get a load of subscribers already listening from the word go. Like, let's leverage that. You don't do it all at the same time. We get the YouTube videos generating first. And then when we've got 3 saved up, we put them on podcasts and we go, guys, I just launched my new podcast, the Marketing Strategy Show's on Spotify. And everyone goes, yay. And then we have a launch party for it and a competition or something that gets a load of people registering for it. And that's just going to be really, really good for your visibility and for creating a buzz around that. So that's the long form. But then we also have short form, which is obviously your reels and shorts that you're then going to post on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are posting short form content. And you need to be creating short form content because people are consuming that the most out of all content. The long form is brilliant and great to have. The short form is necessary in this day and age because every platform is pushing short form content. But custom creating reels takes flipping time. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't have time to sit and custom create a load of bloody reels. I just don't have time for it. I love doing it, but it takes ages. You know, I'm recording all these clips and then I've got to edit them and put them all together and put captions on it. And so how will happen is it won't happen at all. And then I'm not creating any content. And that's a shame because I'm missing an opportunity and I'm not being discovered, which is not good for business. So having this show episode that you can then repurpose into reels is really helpful because it enables you to get more out of one thing that you're doing and also means that you are meeting that reels target of actually having short form content. So that's really cool. And then the other thing that you can do is you can get text content. I'm talking like carousel post with like a static image of you with a bit of text over the top, over like 5 carousels. So easy to create that. Or you've got quote posts. And this is all very well. And so the thing that we need to think about now is how do we use this to now get people into the first step in your funnel? We want to get people on your email list or get people on a sales call. And this is the strategizing part. You're moving people through a process. This isn't just you putting content out. Because that's nice, but it's not putting money in your bank. And I'm sorry, but you're running a business. You need to be putting money in your bank to keep your business afloat. And so this needs to lead into that. We're creating awareness, we're capturing interest, and the next thing we want is commitment. Now, commitment starts with something small and leads to something high. Okay, so low commitment, as an example, is freebie or low ticket. High commitment is client. And this is the most important thing to understand when it comes to marketing. The purpose of marketing is taking someone from, I don't know you, I don't like you, I don't trust you, I might be aware of my problem, I'm not aware that you're the solution to my problem. over to, I know you, I like you, I trust you. I'm aware of my problem. I'm aware that you're the solution to my problem. We want to sell to those people, the warm people, the hot people. It's going to be so much easier than trying to sell to the cold people. And so all of your marketing, the whole point of this content, the whole point of all the work that you're doing on social media with putting content out there, it is to build that relationship. It's the gap in between those two things. We want low commitment first and then high commitment. And you can go straight into high commitment. They have to be warm or hot. And if they're not, it's going to be really hard to make any sales. You can also sell directly on your YouTube. I mean, I've been selling a £147 product directly from a YouTube video, directly into sale, and also low ticket offers that are like 5, 7, 8 quid off of YouTube videos consistently. You can do that, but this is more the low commitment. And if you're constantly trying to get high commitment and you're missing out the low commitment, what you're going to do is you're going to skip out that warming up phase that would have happened if you'd have allowed it, because we want the low commitment. What it does is it builds more of a relationship. Now I'm going to do a live demonstration of this right now, because this is part of my strategy and part of what I do. And that is the fact that off the back of every single episode of this show, I put together a step-by-step guide that enables you to implement what you've just seen so much easier. Because the truth is, there are so many times when we watch a video and we get an idea and maybe we write notes and we go, oh, that was great, I'm going to do that later. And we put that notebook down. And then we might come back to it and we go, oh yeah, where were the notes that I wrote? Or what was the video? And I want you to implement this. If you feel inspired to have your own live show so that it has the impact on your business that I know that it can have. And so I have put together a step-by-step guide that walks you through the entire strategy. It gives you the map, it gives you the explainers, and that is inside the school community, which you can find on cordeliakate.com/school. If you go to the classroom, a lot of you are already here, and you click on this, you will see every single episode that I have done on this show is here, and every single one of them has a downloadable resource so you can follow and implement the strategy really simply. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't want to do this DIY, there's a lot of moving parts there, you'd like to just have it done for you. You want the whole strategy mapped out so that you can know what the highest possible leverage way of running this strategy can be for your business, and how it can lead into sales, and how it can work really well in terms of using the right platforms and promoting it in the right way, and the concept mapped out and all the rest of it. I have a live show vision call that will spend 90 minutes mapping that whole thing out together. So, and at the end of it, I will then go away and then I will come back to you with a visual map and an explainer of every single step and stage of your live show strategy so that you can then go and build it. If you want me to build it for you, actually, I have an agency that has been launched this year, which is super exciting, where I do the whole thing for you. And every week I go, hey, here's your coffee and here is what you are doing on your live show this week. And you just show up, do the hour we've got a whole research machine that researches the best videos for you and that you should be doing based on what you know, and everything is done. And then you basically choose which episodes you want to run out of the things that I share with you. And then you select those. And then basically I create all the promo materials, the live stream, I'm on it with you. I run the call, everything. And it's all done from wall to wall. All you have to do is show up and all the content is turned into everything else. And the top of funnel stuff is done. I'm not offering you that today. I'm sorry, but it's full right now. I've got a space or two coming up. So if you want to talk to me about that, we can. But what I do have coming up is some spaces for some live show vision calls where we can map out your entire show, which would be the first step of us working together on a show build anyway. But if you would like to just be able to have that whole map so that you can have it related to your own business, then all you need to do is register your interest on the link cordeliakate.com/interested. And what that will do is just pop your name down to say that you're interested in a vision call. And when I've got those spaces open, because they are opening up in a few days, I'll be ringing you to get you booked in. And then we can do a vision call, or I can answer any questions you've got about the vision call. So that is, let me know what you think about this strategy. Would love to hear from you guys. Cool beans. So there we have it. Your live show strategy, the only content strategy you need. That's it. That's all you need. But yeah, I hope that has been helpful. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I wish you all the best of luck in your business. And if you want to launch your own live show, I'm your girl. Speak soon. Bye.